Namaste. This is JV and Dr. Vishal Saxena, professor in mathematics in Faculty of Education and Methodology, JAYOTI VIDYAPEETH Women's University, Jaipur. So today I am going to discuss on a module of parameter and statistics. Parameter and statistics, that module is a part of the course Research Methodology and Biostatistics in BPT 6th semester and B Pharmacy 8th semester. So this parameter and statistics is a part of the content of statistics and a very important part because when we discuss about the part of testing of hypothesis, then the concepts of parameter and statistics will be used. So first, before just reaching to parameter and statistics, first we have to understand what is meaning of population and sample. Because population and sample are the very important two concepts of statistics, and this will also be used in the part of sampling process. So population means the population is the entire group that you want to draw conclusion about. Means the population means the group of individuals, or we can say it is the entire group that is just about to draw the conclusions, means about which the analysis is to be made, or the results are to be just obtained, that is called population. So definitely it is an entire group, or it is a large group, uh, and that is a large group of the individuals. Now the sample means the specific group of individuals that you will collect data from. So a sample means it is a specific group of individuals, and it should be a subset of the population. So that is just made, sample is made from the population, and just that you will collect data from. So it means the sample is made from the population. Just through the sample, the entire population can be analyzed for about the characteristics, which is just to be the study of the characteristics is to be made. So sample means it is a small subset, it is a small part of the population, and through which the population can be studied or be analyzed. Now, next is some more definitions before reaching to parameter and statistics, because these are related with the concept parameter and statistic are the concepts related to population and sample, and therefore we are discussing the part of population, sample, and what is meaning of sample frame and sample size. So sampling frame means the sampling frame is the actual of the individuals that the sample will be drawn from. So ultimately, sampling frame can be just taken as a list or the actual list of individuals that the sample will be drawn from. Means the sample is made from this list. So this sampling frame shows the actual list of individuals that a sample will be drawn from, and through which a sample is selected, or it is made from the this sampling frame, or from the this actual list. Ideally, it should include the entire target population. So the sampling this sampling frame should include the entire target population, means and nobody who is not part of the population. So if any nobody who is not the part of the population that is not included in the sampling frame, yes, and it should be included the entire population, ideally, and the members, if it is not the member which does not belong to population, that member cannot be included in the sampling frame. Example, if we are doing research on working conditions at a social media marketing company, suppose population is all 1000 employees of the company, then your sampling frame is the company's HR database. Means the population of employees in that company is 1000. Then it means the sampling frame is the company's HR database, which lists the names and contact details of every employee. So in this way, the sampling frame can be just understand that is the list, that is the like the group of those persons, those employees who are in the HR database and whose complete name, complete details are available in the HR database. Now, sample size. The number of individuals you should include in the sample depends on the various factors, including the size and the variability of the population and your research design. So there are different sample sizes, calculators and formulas depending on what you want to achieve with statistical analysis. So sample size means the size of the sample that is selected for the just analysis from the population. So the number of individuals you should include in your sample depends on various factors, and these factors like the sample size and the variability. But what is meaning of sample size? The size of the sample. Now next is the our topic parameter in the statistics. Parameter and statistics are the two important concepts. Parameter is related with population, while the statistics is related with the sample. So a population means a population is a set of studied unit objects, numbers whose elements can be considered and say X. So a population is a set of a set of studied units, object or the numbers whose elements can be considered. Suppose X as the values of a random variable, then a chance collection allocation associated with variable X will be available. So this is the definition of population, and we have already discussed. To understand this is the concept of statistical quantitative characteristics determined on the basis of all the units in the population. So ultimately, the parameter means the respective parameters are statistical quantitative characteristics. Like we can say these are the standard deviation or the mean or the proportion. So for instance, population mean, population standard deviation, population proportion for some distributions are the parameters. So these are the statistical quantities, quantitative characteristics about through which the population can be analyzed. So these are the statistical quantitative characteristics, and these are defined in the population, determined on the basis of all the units in the population. Now next we have to discuss about the statistics. But for the statistic, we have to understand what is a random sample. A random sample means it is referred to as any set of realizations like x1, x2, x3, xn on made on X under the independent and the identical conditions. So a random sample means it is referred to as any set of realizations. So suppose if we are having suppose any set of realizations some variables are there, like some values are there, x1, x2, x3, and xn. Just these are the uh, random variables and showing the values. So a random sample is referred to as any set of realizations made on the x. X means here this is used for the notation to represent a random variable, and ultimately a random variable just shows a variable that is that value is not a fixed value, that is a random variable means it will be in a variable form, in a random form. Statistic. Now a statistics mean statistic is a word, actually just it is defined for the sample, and this is the name for statistical quantity calculated on the basis of a random sample. Just previously we have discussed about the parameter. The parameter is again the statistical quantity or just statistical quantitative characteristics. So it is defined for the population, while this statistics means again it is the name of any statistical quantity, and it is calculated on the basis of a random sample. So the sample mean, the sample standard deviation, and the sample proportions. Just these are the statistical quantities, and these are defined in like the sample form. So just because statistic means that is the statistical quantity and defined for the sample. So just we can see these examples here. Sample mean, sample standard deviation, and sample proportion. And these are called statistics, plural type of statistic. They will be denoted by Roman letters. So let x1, small x1, x2, and x3, xn be the observed values of these capital X1, X2, and X3, xn. Then just the collection of small x1, x2, x3, xn is known as sample space. And now the notations for parameter and statistic means just now we are going to like define how can we denote or how can we just give the notation for the parameter and statistic. Parameter means for the population and statistic means for the sample. So some like measures of statistics. Some statistical quantities means mean, proportion, standard deviations are there. So these parameter, in the form of parameter, the mean is written by mu, and the proportion is written by capital P, and standard deviation is written by sigma. So these are the sigma means it is showing here the standard deviation for the just it is for the parameter term, and proportion for the proportion. P is the notation, and mean that is mu. If we discuss about the statistics, statistic means these are the statistical quantities, characteristics just defined for the sample. So mean is given by x bar. The mean is given by, suppose just we have discussed about if x is showing the random variable, and x takes the values like x1, x2, x3, xn in the sample, then x bar shows the mean value. It is the mean value, and it is the notation defined for the statistics in a sample. Proportion is written by p. It can be also given by small p for the sample, for the statistic, and standard deviation. The standard deviation The statistic notation for the standard deviation is given by capital S. So it is capital S for the statistic and for the standard deviation, while sigma is the notation for parameter for the given sample. So values of a statistic for a given sample, just now just these may be some particular values and what kind of notation we can assign there. So mean is again assigned with like x bar e given by. So just these are the parameter and statistic concepts and in the hypothesis